Hello everybody, long time no see, but welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you guys my December TBR. So it's been a while. I kind of inadvertently took a very long break, probably the longest break that I've ever taken between filming videos. It was unintentional, I promise. Life just got in the way. Last I saw you was in July. I was filming my August TBR, and then so much happened. I finished my MLIS the first week of August, and that same week I started my first library job. And it's just been a bit of chaos ever since. Getting used to working a new job and getting used to new hours, getting back into working and going out to work again after a year of working remotely and doing school has taken its toll on me. So I apologize for the lack of videos. I've also been reading very little in that period of time. I know the irony of being surrounded by books and working in a library and reading less is, I'm aware of that irony, but it's just the truth. It's what's been happening. Regardless, I'm excited to share with you guys my TBR for December, the last month. Let's round out this year with a bang. I am participating in one of my favorite readathons that I've ever discovered on YouTube, and that is Reindeer Readathon, hosted by Break-Even Books, aka Erik. And I am so excited. I am on Team Stalking this year. The sign-up form unfortunately has already gone quiet. It's already finished. Sign up was supposed to be before December. I had planned on getting this TBR out before then, but you know, c'est la vie. But if you wanted to participate, you're still welcome to. Your points won't be counted. So it's one of those, if you still want to do it, you can, but yeah, anyway. I am on Team Stalking. I'm very excited. I will leave a link to Erik's channel, the announcement, and all of the hosts' channels down below as well. So you guys can go take a look at all their videos. I am also participating in Queerlit Readathon. There's a mini round happening this month, starting tomorrow on Sunday on December 4th until December 10th. I'm not going to be following any of the prompts for this one, but there are 3 books on my Reindeer Readathon TBR that are also queer, so I'm going to be reading those during those set days. So I will explain that at the end. But without further ado, let's just get into my December TBR. Okay, so the very first prompt is for Dasher, and the prompt is to read a book that you started and then ended up putting down. I don't really have one that is Christmassy, which is my goal, to read all Christmassy books this month. I don't have any that's Christmassy that fit that prompt, and so the alternative prompt is to read a short story or novella. For that, I'm going to actually reread A Christmas Carol. I'm going to listen to the audiobook because I've never actually listened to the audiobook of Christmas Carol, and it's one of my favorite stories. It's a classic, as everybody is aware, by Charles Dickens. I haven't read it since I analyzed it for class back in my undergrad, so it's been a very long time. And I'm excited to listen to the audiobook. I think it's going to be a good time. I have it out from work, from my library. So I'm going to be listening to that this month, and I'm very excited about it. Next up is Dancer, and the prompt is to read a book with flowy or cursive writing on the front. And for this one, I'm going to read a backlist book, and that is going to be The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I heard some really great things about this last year, because I believe it came out last year. But this tells the story of 2 twins. What are their names? Charlie and Cass. They're both kind of feeling kind of in like a bit of a rut, and so they kind of decide to swap places over Christmas time, and all kinds of shenanigans ensue. One of them is a celebrity chef, celebrity baker, and one of them lives in their hometown, so they're kind of swapping lives as well as locations over Christmas. So I'm excited. I heard it was kind of fun. I don't think it's going to be groundbreaking, but I think it's going to be a fun time, so I'm excited to read it. Next up is Prancer, and the prompt is to read a book set during your favorite season or that has your favorite season's covers on the front. For this one, I am going to be reading a book set during my favorite season, which is winter. Fall, winter, they're kind of together. And for this one, I'm going to be reading Season of Love by Helena Greer. This is a sapphic, Christmassy book, and I am so excited. This follows our main character, Miriam Bloom. She gets kind of unexpected and sad news and finds out that her great aunt Cass has passed and left Miriam part owner of Kerrigan's, her ironically Jewish red Christmas tree farm. But Miriam's plans to sit Shiva, avoid her parents, and then put Kerrigan's in her rearview mirror are spoiled when she learns the business is at risk of going under. To have any chance at turning things around, she'll need to work with the farm's grumpy manager, as long as the attraction sparking between them doesn't set all their trees on fire first. Noelle Northwood wants Miriam Bloom gone, even if her ingenious ideas and sensitive soul keep showing Noelle there's more to Cass's niece than meets the eye. But saving Kerrigan's requires trust, love, and risking it all for the chance to make their wildest dreams come true. It's set at a Christmas tree farm. It's sapphic. It's got that, like, holiday feel. It's not just a Christmas book. It's also a Jewish book. So I'm very excited to read this. It was blurbed by Ashley Herring Blake, which is, like, my favorite rom-com author, so I am so excited. This is also going to be my first book that I read during Queer Lit Readathon as well. Next up is to read a book for Vixen, and the prompt is to read a book that you are excited to read but fear it may be overhyped. So this one I've had on my TBR for actual years. One of my favorite booktubers ever, who's Emma Books, raves about this book and reads it every single Christmas, and I have not managed to get myself to read it, and I am so nervous about it now. But I have a great feeling I'm going to love it, and that is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. So this is a YA Christmassy book following our main character, Holly Chase, who a few years prior to the start of the book was visited by 3 ghosts on Christmas Eve to kind of tell her how spoiled and selfish she'd become and urge her to change her ways. Familiar story. She didn't, and then she died. She's now ended up as a ghost working for the top secret Project Scrooge, as the new ghost of Christmas past. Her afterlife has been miserable, but this year's Scrooge might make everything a little bit different. So I'm very excited. The tagline on this is "Every Scrooge deserves a second chance," and again, with me reading Christmas Carol this year, I'm excited to read this very interesting reimagining of that same story. I think it's going to be really interesting. I'm very excited to give this a go, but I am also, again, very nervous. The next prompt is for Comet, and the prompt is to read a book that has an astronomical word in the title. This one was hard for me because I wanted to read everything Christmas related. Then I found out that this book that has already been high on my TBR was set during Christmas time. I had no idea. So I got very excited. And that is Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellafleur. This is another sapphic romance, but I didn't realize takes place during Christmas time. And because it doesn't really look very Christmassy on the cover, so I had no idea. But this follows our 2 main characters, Darcy and Elle. It says, after a disastrous blind date, Darcy Lowell is desperate to stop her well-meaning brother from playing matchmaker ever again. Love and the inevitable heartbreak is the last thing she wants, so she fibs and says her latest setup was a success. Darcy doesn't expect her lie to bite her in the ass. Elle Jones, one of the astrologers behind the popular Twitter account Oh My Stars, dreams of finding her soulmate, but she knows it's most assertedly not Darcy, a no-nonsense stick-in-the-mud who is way too analytical, punctual, and skeptical for someone like Elle. When Darcy's brother and Elle's new business partner expresses how happy he is that she and Darcy hit it off, Elle is baffled. Why was Darcy on the same date? Because awkward. Darcy begs Elle to play along, and she reluctantly agrees to pretend they're dating, but with a few conditions. Darcy must help Elle navigate her own overbearing family during the holidays, and their arrangement expires on New Year's Eve. The last thing they expect is to develop real feelings during a faux relationship, but maybe opposites can attract, and true love is written in the stars. I'm so excited about this. I love all of the, like, tropes that make this up in terms of, like, almost like a very condensed version of, like, second chance romance. It's got fake dating. It's got kind of, I won't say enemies to lovers, I'll kind of say, like, haters to lovers kind of situation. Yeah, I love everything that this is promising me, and I've heard so many great things about this incredible, like, the whole series that is written by Alexandria Bellafleur. So I am really excited to finally give this a go. I know I'm gonna love it. This is gonna be my second read that I read during Queer Lit Readathon as well. Next up is to read a book for Cupid, and the prompt is to read a book with your favorite trope in it. This one was easy for me, and that is Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane. This is a fake dating, another fake dating sapphic romance. But this one follows Ellie Oliver and another main character, Jack. So this follows Ellie and Jack as they go on a kind of, like, I think it's a blind date. Oh no, she has a Christmas Eve bookstore meet cute with a woman she fell in love with over the course of a single night. But after a betrayal the next morning and the loss of her job soon after, she finds herself adrift alone and desperate for money. She ends up finding work at a local coffee shop, and then the coffee shop's landlord ends up kind of enlisting her during a drunken night into a marriage of convenience that'll give him his recent inheritance and alleviate Elle's financial woes and isolation. They decide to spend the holidays together in a family cabin, but when Andrew introduces his new fiancée, Elle, to his sister, She's shocked to discover that it's Jack, the woman that she had the meet cute with a year prior, that ended up in disaster. So now, over one very festive week, Ellie must choose between the safety of a fake relationship and the risk of something real. I'm super excited about this. I love this idea. Again, second chance romance, fake dating, marriage of convenience, and then the kind of the person you're fake dating is the brother of the woman you fell in love with over a year ago. So there's kind of that drama there. I'm so excited. I've heard such fantastic things about this since it came out a couple months ago. Again, this one's blurbed by Ashley Herring Blake, which means I'm going to love it. But again, just a fantastic sapphic twist on a classic Christmas trope, and I am so excited to give it a go. Again, this is going to be my third book that I read during Queerlit Readathon as well. Next up is Donner, and the prompt is to read a book that you are excited to read, but you hate the cover. This one I found at work on a whim. I just walked past the display and it happened to be out. It's a shorter read. It's one that I've heard of before, but I absolutely despise the cover, and that is Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe by Melissa de la Cruz. This, again, is obviously Pride and Prejudice retelling, reimagining, set during Christmas time. It's also gender bent, so the main characters are Darcy and I want to say Luke. Yeah, so Darcy Fitzwilliam and Luke Bennett. And it kind of follows Darcy as she is going back home for the holidays after becoming a very successful CEO that lives in New York City, who's kind of missing that like holiday family cheer. And she ends up running into Luke Bennett, who's a like kind of slackery kind of neighbor of her parents. They meet during the annual Christmas party. It says he's 32 and has never left home. He's a carpenter who makes beautiful furniture and content with his simple life. So they have very like different lives, different priorities. I think it's going to be cute. I think it's going to be a fun time. I'm not expecting, again, groundbreakingness in this, but I think it's going to be a fun time. I also found out that this one actually got remade by, or adapted by Hallmark, and the woman who plays Gretchen Wieners plays Darcy. So I think I'm going to try and read this as well this month and watch this as well as read this and see if I can pull any comparisons or talk about the adaptation. I think that's going to be really funny. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to read this one. I think it's going to be entertaining. Next up was Blitzen, and the prompt was to use a random number generator to pick a number between 1 and 10 and read a book that the last page number ends with that number. So it was very like hard for me. I ended up rolling the number 2, and this ended up again working out perfectly because my hold came in at the same time from the library, and I'm so excited to be able to read this month. But the book that I'm going to be reading for this prompt is A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This I've been super excited about ever since I heard about it from HarperCollins during their winter preview. Or their fall preview. This came out back in September, I want to say. But this is a story following two main characters, Nolan and what's her name? Bianca. Bianca is a very successful plus-size adult film star. She's got 2 supportive moms, a huge following, and she couldn't ask for more. But when her favorite producer casts her to star in a Christmas movie he's making for a squeaky clean Hope channel, Bree's career is about to take a more family-friendly direction. Forced to keep her work as Bianca under wraps, Bee quickly learns that this task is a lot easier said than done. Although it becomes worthwhile when she discovers her co-star is none other than her childhood crush, Nolan Shaw, an ex-boy band member in desperate need of a career rehab. Nolan's promised his Bulldog manager to keep it zipped up on set, and he will if it means he'll be able to provide a more stable living situation for his sister and mom. But things heat up quickly in Christmas Notch, Vermont, when Nolan recognizes his new co-star from her closed-door account. Oh yeah, he's a member. Now Bee and Nolan are sneaking off for quickies on set and keeping their new relationship a secret from the Hope Channel execs. Things only get trickier when the reporter who torpedoed Nolan's singing career becomes snooping around and takes an instant interest in mysterious newcomer Bee. And if Bee and Nolan can't keep their off-camera romance behind the scenes, then this merry little meet cute might end up on the cutting room floor. I don't know, I think this is going to be really cute. I'm excited for any type of rom-com that has plus-size representation. I think this is going to be really interesting, like sex-positive rom-com, which most of them are, but I think this is going to take an extra take on it, having the main character be an adult film star, and I'm so excited. I think this is going to be adorable. Like it says, it's a merry little meet cute. I think it's going to be cute, and I'm really excited to read it. Next up is the final prompt for the final Reindeer, which is Rudolph, and the prompt for this one was to finish a series, I believe, or start a new one if that's not applicable. So I decided to start a new one, and for this I'm actually going to be reading A Princess for Christmas by Jenny Holiday. This author has 3 books out now. The first one is A Princess for Christmas. The second one is Duke Actually, which was really popular last year. My cousin read it and really liked it. And then the third book just came out. I think it's called So This Is Christmas. And it's kind of a similar situation where they're all following similar characters that are all in the same universe kind of situation. Anyway, this is the first one in that series, and it follows, our main character is Leo Ricci, who is a cab driver who is taking care of his little sister. But one day, Gabby spots a princess in a gown outside of United Nations trying to hail a cab. She begs her brother to stop and help. And before he knows it, he's got a real-life damsel in distress in his backseat. I think it's going to remind me a lot of the Reluctant Royal series by Alyssa Cole, which is one of my all-time favorite romance series, so I'm excited to give this one another shot. I haven't read very much like royal rom-com kind of situations, so I think it's going to be an interesting take to see if I enjoy it outside of Alyssa Cole's writing. I also figured out that this is another movie that was adapted into a like Hallmark kind of rom-com movie, so I think I'm going to be having a Hallmark night at some point during this month to try and read or watch this and Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe and see how it works on screen as opposed to on page. So I think it's going to be a good time, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. And I actually just noticed here, it says that Jenny actually lives in London, Ontario in Canada, so gotta love a Canadian author. That makes me want to read it even more. So anyway, I'm super excited to read this, and hopefully it goes well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this December TBR. I am being very ambitious with this, I'm not gonna lie, considering I didn't read a single book in the month of November. That hasn't happened to me in years, so I'm very disappointed in that. However, I'm going to keep an open mind, and I have a plan for when I'm going to read these based on like when my holds are due back and when other readathons are happening. I am confident I'm going to be able to do it. Either way, I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are too. If you guys want more information about Reindeer Readathon, again, all of the hosts and announcement videos are going to be linked down below, as well as the link to Kathy's page, who is the creator of Queer Lit Readathon, so you guys can see more about the mini round that's happening this month and see the bingo board, all that fun stuff. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment down below letting me know what you're most excited about to read during the month of December. Let me know what team you're on for Reindeer Readathon, all that fun stuff. If you're new here, please subscribe. I put out new bookish and writing videos supposedly every week. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye-bye.